I can't take one look at who he actually is versus who he portrays himself to be and not want to slap him in the face. This guy is a manipulator. He is a liar. And in my opinion, when it comes to this whole Patreon thing, how he's pulling the whole bait and switch on what it's actually for. Now you couple that in with what he's doing with BetterHelp, scammer, fraud, snake. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Drumr828 back with another video, and I'm going to be talking about BetterHelp and Philip Defranco and their response to the recent controversy. Now, the last time I talked about BetterHelp, the story was really flying under the radar for most people. But in the week since I posted my video, this story has quickly become the biggest story on YouTube, and everybody's talking about it. BetterHelp has come forward to refute the claims that BetterHelp is a scam, and so has Philip Defranco. Some really interesting connections between Philip Defranco and BetterHelp have been revealed, and it really appears that both Philip Defranco and BetterHelp are in full damage control. BetterHelp within the past couple days has actually gone public with this statement on the whole idea that BetterHelp is a scam. And I'm just going to kind of go over some of the points they bring up because it's really interesting to me. And it says a whole lot about the honesty coming from BetterHelp, which is almost non-existent. And I think it really shows BetterHelp for who they are and how they're really manipulating the situation in order to make themselves appear to be a victim of some kind of horrible conspiracy of YouTubers that just want to take them down. But let's get into this statement that BetterHelp's put out and how they frame how this whole thing happened, which I think is bizarre and just really interesting, to say the least. Now, one of the first things they discuss in their statement is that famous people struggle too. And I really feel like this is a direct response to the opening statements of my video. Since I had one of the first videos covering Memeology's series, my video really did get boosted pretty high in the algorithm. Whenever anybody searched BetterHelp scam or just BetterHelp, I was in the top 5 videos to show up for that. So to this statement and this need to clarify that famous people struggle too, I want to clarify my statements on that, because in my video on this subject, in my opening statements talking about how YouTubers are crying and acting all sad and depressed and then pushing BetterHelp, I was making the point, and you can go back and watch it. I didn't say that they couldn't feel that way or it was wrong for them to feel that way. My point was it was wrong for them to take those emotions and those insecurities and dump them on their audience for sympathy. And then on top of that, push this BetterHelp scam after doing it. YouTubers were taking advantage of the sympathy from their audience in order to push a product. And if they really need help, if they really need to talk about their issues, to not go to their audience on YouTube for it, what do they expect to get out of that? That's not a therapy session. I said there's nothing wrong with feeling like that, but don't take it to your audience. Go to a therapist. This isn't sharing emotion. This isn't being honest with your audience. This is manipulation. This is predatory marketing. This is faking a crisis in order to drum up support for a sponsor. This is slimy. This isn't good. But let's get further down in their statement where they try to frame exactly what happened here. They talk about in late September, the YouTuber that was having a fight with one of the YouTubers that sponsored this, you know, covered the story, and that's how it blew up. No. Because let me tell you what actually happened. I've been here since the beginning. I know exactly how this BetterHelp story broke, and it's nothing like what BetterHelp is claiming. This story broke because of a series that Memeology 101 put out. Now, that series got started on September 26, 2018. Memeology broke that story. On October 2nd at 6 p.m., that's when my video came out covering Memeology's series on this whole event. On October 3rd at 12 a.m., the Killstream covered this, which informed even more people than my video about what was going on with BetterHelp. On October 7th, Baited, episode 37, covered this issue, and really, that informed an insane amount of people. There are hundreds of thousands of people that watch that podcast, Baited, and that informed even more people. On October 8th, Philip Defranco, because everyone was talking about this issue by this point, Philip Defranco actually had to put out a video addressing this issue, and I'm going to cover Philip Defranco's video in just a second. We're going to break that down and see how honest he is. On October 9th, PewDiePie, the biggest YouTuber on the platform, made a video in support of people calling out this company BetterHelp and pointing out all the very strange things going on from the terms of service, the strange wording in that, to reviews actually being faked. He actually included clips that other people had found where it was proven that at least one of the reviewers was somebody from Fiverr, a paid actor who just gaffed and gave away the fact that he was an actor and not a real person. But if you looked through any of the other video reviews, you could definitely tell that the people weren't being genuine. They were reading off a script. You could sit there and watch their eyes going back and forth reading the screen. And in fact, they had done such a piss poor job with the video reviews that at this point, right now that I make this, BetterHelp has gone on their website and scrubbed all the video reviews, so now no one can see any of the shoddy work that they had done as far as that's concerned, because people are actually going through and finding these reviewers and figuring out that they're fake. Further down in BetterHelp's statement on this whole idea that it's a scam, they talk about how there's a conspiracy theory that they're selling their data. Well, let me say, it's not really a conspiracy theory. It's just questions that people are bringing up based on your own words and your terms of service. That stated, BetterHelp washed their hands of any responsibility of keeping any of that information private. Now, they specified the therapy sessions, but I'm wondering also, in order to even get to the therapy sessions, you got to fill out all kind of information about your income, about if you've ever had depression, about your own mental state. There's a whole survey process that you have to go through. So not only would I be suspect of the therapy sessions and the information given out there, but of all the survey information that's gathered just to get to the point where you can receive therapy. So it's not some off-base conspiracy theory like they're trying to spin it. Now, this is based on your own words. This wasn't plucked out of, left field where people were just like, oh, let's just find the most far-reaching thing we can think of. Now, this is based on your own terms of service, on your own legal language that you used.
Yeah, on the policy, guys, on the policy it says that it can be used for marketing purposes and also for training purposes. But the training for who? If the counselors don't work for BetterHelp directly, who are they training?
Well, the marketing especially, what are they going to market to? Like, if you're some crazy person that's got like some weird suicidal issue, like, how is that going to help you sell Nikes? There's something going on here that they're not being upfront
because
about.
Because of the Facebook connection. They're training the marketing tools on Facebook to be able to figure out when people are vulnerable to buying shit.
All right, I'm going to check out some shit.
While you check that out, by the way, again, with the HIPAA laws, so HIPAA protection is specifically when it comes to PII or PHI in a medical facility or medical institution. And BetterHelp basically says that their providers are neither our employees nor our agents nor representatives.
Oh, they're contractors. That's right. Yeah, they're independent contractors.
So it's a workaround from the entire thing. They're not tied to anything. They don't have to protect any of your data.
Now, I really do. I appreciate everybody that's hopped in on this story, everybody that's doing their own investigating and trying to figure out more and get deeper into this, because, like I said, the deeper you go, the shadier it gets. But I think there's a lot of people that have been afraid to step in on this story because, and I get people warning me about this in my comment section. Hey, watch out. They could sue you for talking about the truth on this. And I'd say this, based on BetterHelp's own statements, if anything, we've done them a favor. On the section that talks about how it affected BetterHelp, Alon Mattis, the founder of BetterHelp, is claiming a record number of new signups for BetterHelp. So if anything, these videos have helped BetterHelp, according to BetterHelp. That's what they say. So, he even says these events, this whole controversy, has just created more awareness for his brand. So, what the hell? No damage is there, I guess, right? I'm glad he filled us in on that, because that's good information to have just in case anybody wants to get Sue happy. So because of all the controversy that's been happening, it's been interesting to see the people involved with BetterHelp kind of come forward and do damage control. One of the things I didn't expect was, of all people, to have Philip Defranco come out the gate swinging in defense of BetterHelp. And as we've dug deeper and deeper into the story, we start to realize that Philip Defranco has much more of a connection to BetterHelp and much more of a reason to defend BetterHelp than anybody else on the platform. Not only was he sponsored by BetterHelp, he, by his own definition, was working with BetterHelp on a company level.
BetterHelp has been a sponsor of our videos. We've even partnered with them at a company level to help them with other sponsorships with other YouTubers.
But let's dig into his response to the whole controversy over BetterHelp. Now, in Philip Defranco's video addressing this BetterHelp issue, right off the bat, he jumps in with an absolute straw man argument where he, for some reason, makes up the point that people were claiming that he snuck in the sponsorship without telling anybody.
Certain versions of this story involve me sneaking in some sort of sponsorship, which is just not accurate. And how would that even make sense since my name's literally in the URL?
That is a complete straw man argument. No one said that you were sponsored by BetterHelp and didn't tell anybody. I haven't heard anybody say that. What you're doing actually is you're trying to muddy the waters on another accusation coming to you that we're going to address in just a minute. When we say that you snuck in your sponsorship, we're not talking about on your channel. We're talking about how you snuck in your way to get a profit off other YouTuber that was pushing this product and had no idea that you were involved and actually getting a cut from all of their sales. And that has turned out to be a matter of fact, not a conspiracy theory, not an opinion, that's the truth. And in this video, you actually end up having to confront that issue. So he goes on in the video and he explains that, you know, even though he trusts BetterHelp and he believes in them and he's not suspicious of them at all, he still, for some reason, I guess because of the controversy, even though he trusts them, he's still going to suspend the sponsorship. And if you trust them, if you believe in the company, why are you suspending the sponsorship? That doesn't mean you're not making money off BetterHelp anymore, Phil. That just means you're not putting the link in your description box. You're completely ignoring the fact that you're still making money off BetterHelp because of all of these weird affiliate links because of your advertising agency, apparently, that you own. What about all the other YouTubers that are still pushing the product using your hookup? You're still making money from that end of it. Now, I do think it's interesting in this video that he claims he didn't read the terms of service.
I immediately suspended my sponsorships with them moving forward. And I announced that last week when I first learned of the concerning language in their terms and conditions.
But if you go way back and you look at that controversy that happened a long time ago with that whole CSGO gambling issue, when Phil covered the story, when it came to that story, he knew to look into the terms of service. I think it's really strange that in that situation, he was able to look into the terms of service. He knew to do it for that situation when reporting on the story.
To that point, what I would say is the privacy policy does mention children that are 13 or younger. The terms of service, which I do not know if they were added or updated anytime recently, at this time it does currently say, by using this website, you represent, warrant, and agree that you are at least 18 years of age. So if that wasn't changed recently, and that's just the way that it's been, it kind of takes away from Ethan's argument a little.
But when it came to partnering with BetterHelp at a company level, for some reason, he just forgot to read the terms of service.
And I announced that last week when I first learned of the concerning language in their terms and conditions. And understand, I am not defending what was in their terms and conditions. That is also concerning to me as a person that used the service.
This has got to be the most hilarious part of Phil's response.
My goal is to try and get to the BetterHelp offices and speak with the team, as I mentioned, this week.
He's going to go do some investigative reporting over at the BetterHelp offices. Okay, one, you're part of the whole issue here. You're part of, if there is a scam, you would be part of it. Does anyone see the comedy in the fact that the guy that's being accused of being part of the scam is now taking it upon himself to do a documentary on whether or not it's a scam? You're part of it. No bias, guys. No bias here. Let me give you a prediction for how I think this investigative, documentary is going to go. Oh, man, we didn't find anything wrong. It's all good here. I mean, that is so stupid that even Phil himself has to admit that the objectivity of this investigation seems a bit questionable.
I am aware that if I was on the outside looking in on this situation, I would question my objectivity.
So we talked a little bit about this, in the opening, but let's just jump right into it. Now we're actually going to dig into this whole part of Philip Defranco and his advertising agency. In this video, Phil revealed for the first time his method of working with BetterHelp to bring in more YouTubers that were unaware that they were even working with Phil and take a percentage of their profits.
And I negotiated a deal with BetterHelp to make it so that I could also connect them with other YouTubers like an ad agency would. We connect some content creators, we set them up, we handle their daily numbers, we make sure they get paid. If they have any questions or need any help, we can be there for them. And then on the other end, BetterHelp, if they have any questions regarding, do you think this person would be good or something along those lines, we can advise. And for all of this, like an ad agency would, we take a percentage of the sponsorship.
Now, Phil makes an interesting statement in this video. He claims that it's always been a goal of his company to work as an ad agency.
It's been a side goal of mine to have an in-house sales team, have essentially a small agency. I mean, everything we do is crowdfunded through Defranco Elite.
And he admits that he's been using his Patreon donations to fund this ad agency. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's been a lot of controversy over Defranco Elite, which just means you donate money to the Patreon. It's existed for over a year now, and in the beginning, he claimed it was going to be to fund like a news network. He put out this whole video talking about, you know, hey, I'm starting Defranco Elite because I'm going to do independent news, and I want to make sure that we can expand into, you know, street interviews and having more people come onto the show, and I want to make this whole news network a reality, and if you want to help, here's how you can do it.
I am so nervous and excited about today. And that's because today I am so happy to announce for the first time in 4 years, I am an independent creator again. Now, I am so thankful to Group 9, Discovery Digital Networks for the experiences I had, the amazing people I was able to work with, but this is a necessary and I feel important change. I want to make the next great news network. A network that's run under my vision of it is okay to have and share opinions, but let's get the facts right first. Let's express what both sides are actually saying, give their points of view, and then separately, after we've presented them in the best and fair manner, yes, then share our opinion, not because we want people to also think like we think, to infect minds with my way because my way is the right way, no, but to start a conversation about this crazy world that we live in. A world where we too often close the door on people who think differently or say different things because we associate those people with the most extreme of that group, of the most ridiculous who maybe share some of the same ideas. And there needs to be a rational place where we can come together and talk about the world in a place where we trust what's actually being fed to us. And that's why today I'm launching Defranco Elite, a fan funding initiative through Patreon. I want to do it independently to make sure no corporate interest can manipulate and control how the news is presented. Being forced to talk about a topic or not being able to talk about a topic or having to push some sort of agenda. Those strings can't be there if I truly want to create this. And I say that having been offered to be a part of something much bigger than what I'm doing now, to build someone else's property or to even go with my vision but still be able to be controlled. I wouldn't have the level of control needed to actually deliver on what I'm talking about right now. I want to have a real impact on this world, and I feel like there are people like you that also crave that. And that's why to me it's a no-brainer not to only make content for you but with you. Now keep in mind, I am taking one of the biggest risks of my career in one of the most toxic and uncertain of times. Ad revenue for people that talk about real and controversial topics is plummeting. Monetization being stripped from my videos is a very real problem and one that looks to get worse in the future. Despite our continued growth for people hungry for this content, it's more and more uncertain. But I do this because I know that this is important and I know what we can truly do. And that's why, separate from this fan funding, obviously I'm investing in this myself. Risking what I have personally because I think we can make something amazing. Buying my properties back, building out new sets so I can move past the current rate and quality of production. Bringing in new, incredibly talented people behind and in front of the camera. New faces and old. Making old formats better and introducing new. Now this is gonna take time. Just because we launched this campaign doesn't mean boom, the news network exists. The last thing I want to do is overpromise, blow smoke up your ass, and disappoint you. The plan is to build out on the 2 existing channels. Take the Monday to Thursday Philip Defranco show and get that to 7 days a week. Take the Philly D channel from 2 videos a week to 5. And this will be the place where I not only start giving you more, a place where we can test new formats, shows, hosts, anything. And the people getting this aren't just going to be the people that are supporting us through this fan funding. Yes, by showing us that support, you're going to get perks and benefits and special early releases. You get to be part of live streams and be the first to know about events, but the goal here is to make something for everyone. By building it out this way, not only can I give you more content now, but we'll be able to test organically to see what works and what we want the news network to be. Learning lessons and picking up amazingly talented people along the way. Deep dives, debates, new podcasts, new interviews with experts. Getting out on the street to see what people really think. Also going out on the street to mess with people. Not in a it's just a prank bro kind of way, but in a way to see what people actually know, what they think. And also shows that involve you and building the tech around that to make it easier and so much more. And I do this knowing that there are new networks popping up that are better funded. I do this knowing that by being independent in this nature, there are gonna be people that block the door. But I truly know that with enough of you by my side, we can kick that door down. We can be the smart and reasonable voice the world needs. And we can be that change we wanna see in the world. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. If you do fund this, thank you so much for funding, but no matter what, thank you just for being on this journey with me. But with that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip Defranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you soon.
Now, the controversy began when Defranco actually began to change the definition of what Defranco Elite was about. I was one of the people that defended him in his decision to even start up a Patreon, which is like a method of crowdfunding, because I thought he was actually going to try and start his own news network. Nothing actually changed. He just kept making daily videos. There was absolutely no visible change in what he had been doing from before he started taking in all this money from his fans to afterwards. Now, the controversy got started months and months and months after he had started Defranco Elite, and no one saw any change in what he was doing. No one saw any difference. The only difference that anyone ever noticed is that Defranco is just taking in a bunch of money from his fans, and everybody's like, well, what's he doing with it? It was at this point that when the controversy first rose up, he actually changed the definition of what Defranco Elite was.
I see what we're doing, once again, as very close to Rooster Teeth first. We're in like the infancy of it. More and more of the content is being made. Content, stuff, access, all that is, there's a one-to-one transaction. From
funding for his own independent news network to now it was a subscription service for content, stuff, and access. Now it was almost a year ago when he made that statement on how it had changed to something else. And it was at that point when I started to kind of pull back from my support of that. I was thinking, you know, hey, I'll support the independent news network, but what is this, your subscription service for posters and mugs now? That's not news.
I understand why there is a connotation with Patreon and donations, and that's in no way what we see ourselves as, and in no way what we're doing. It's fan funding in the sense of selling a shirt, giving a product, giving videos, etc.
Yeah, the Patreon thing is really, it's tough because, like, I think the separation of it, I think the point that you make is the most important, of separating it out from subscription to straight up donation, right?
Right. Like,
that's the reason we closed ours so long ago, because we're like, look, we recognize that taking your money at this point is disingenuous because we're self-sufficient now.
And at the time we used it, we really needed the money. It was really helpful. But that was a different case. Like, that was before AdSense made any money for us, or before we had any sponsors. So it was really just a donation-based thing.
I care about trust so much with everyone that we bring on, because I've had so many, well, not so many, some specific horrible instances in the past that I never want to experience again. So yeah, just stuff like that. It's just, I think. But what other what other problems do you have? Because I want to.
My thing with Patreon is, when I support people on Patreon, I don't really expect. My attitude is that I'm donating to support this person. That's how I see it, and I think that's how most people see it.
There are people that I support just like that.
I support people on Patreon, and I don't expect anything, in exchange. If people are expecting something and they don't get it, like, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the person. It could be a scam. I don't know.
Right. The plan is to build out on the 2 existing channels. Take the Monday to Thursday Philip Defranco show and get that to 7 days a week. Take the Philly D channel from 2 videos a week to 5. And this will be the place where I not only start giving you more, a place where we can test new formats, shows, hosts, anything. And the people getting this aren't just going to be the people that are supporting us through this fan funding. Yes, by showing us that support, you're going to get perks and benefits and special early releases. You get to be part of live streams and be the first to know about events, but the goal here is to make something for everyone. By building it out this way, not only can I give you more content now, but we'll be able to test organically to see what works and what we want the news network to be. Learning lessons and picking up amazingly talented people along the way. Deep dives, debates, new podcasts, new interviews with experts. Getting out on the street to see what people really think. Also going out on the street to mess with people. Not in a it's just a prank bro kind of way, but in a way to see what people actually know, what they think. And also shows that involve you in building the tech around that to make it easier, and so much more. We can be the smart and reasonable voice the world needs. And we can be that change we want to see in the world. It's been a side goal of mine to have an in-house sales team, have essentially a small agency. I mean, everything we do is crowdfunded through Defranco Elite.
Just thought it was a little weird. He's taken all this money, a ridiculous amount of money, by the way, which he hides, but people can see how many patrons he's got. People can see the minimum amount of money that it takes to become a member of the Defranco Elite, which just means you donate money to the Patreon, and you can simply do the math. And it wasn't until this latest video that he was forced to admit that he's been funding his advertising agency with the money that he makes on his Patreon. Now that's 3 different stages that his Patreon has mutated into, that now it's a funding for an advertising agency. Let's see, it started as a news network, then it became a subscription service for content, stuff, and access, and now it's become funding for an advertising agency. Phil acts like the only reason he was so secretive about his ad agency's involvement and bringing in all these other YouTubers and actually getting a cut of their profits was so that he didn't step on anybody's toes.
Boogie2988, he was unsure why my company name was in his referral URL. And the reason for that is, instead of going to him and several other creators directly, which can take a lot of time, you don't want that agency to feel like you stepped on their toes, because this whole business is all about relationships. And so we just went through an agency we already knew that he had been working with.
Give me a break, dude. You were bringing in all these big YouTubers because you knew if you brought them in under your ad agency, you could skim off the top. You're getting a cut of every bit of the profits that all these other YouTubers are bringing in. This is about making money for you. This has nothing to do with you not wanting to step on any toes. You're so fucking transparent here. This might work on your little fanatic fanboys, but like anybody outside of your sphere of influence, anybody in the real world can see right through this bullshit right now. So you went ahead, you brought in all these YouTubers, you're skimming off the top, you kept your own involvement secret, you didn't tell anybody it was you that was doing it, and your reasoning is that you didn't want to step on anybody's toes. To me, skimming off the top of people's profits without them knowing you're involved is definitely stepping on toes.
So I don't worry about it that much.
Why I call this a pyramid scheme, and Josh alluded to it.
Yeah, yeah. Who the fuck is saying pyramid scheme? Can
because,
you explain?
Okay, so this is how it works. This company, if you look at the CEO, he's made multiple companies that do the same thing.
Right.
Either they're health companies.
Well, that's not a pyramid scheme.
No, hold on. Health companies, beauty companies, whatever. But what they do is they get YouTubers and I guess quote unquote influencers to shill this product. They give you a fee. As you said, you got 200. Some people get 100 per person. And actually, if you look at your link, if you look deeper into your link, you link to Philly D, your affiliate link. So I think he gets a cut from you as well. So whoever signed up for you,
I don't think that's the case.
We have a screenshot of your actual URL, and it links to his.
So if we go to BetterHelp.com.
Yeah, it has the Rogue Rocket tag right there in there,
which is his company, his YouTube company. And the way it works is they get you guys to sign up, then you get your subscribers to sign up.
But see, that would be illogical because I'm not going through Philip Defranco. I'm going through Seismic, and why would Seismic give them a percentage? Why would they give Defranco?
You have to ask why
make any sense.
BetterHelp. Why they're working that.
Why wouldn't they want to keep all the money they can? That doesn't.
I think $200 is the top referral level because that's what Andy Worski was promised, but he only got
I had two different people. I was about to say three, but I think it was only two. But I had an agent that works with another YouTuber reach out to me, and then I had Seismic reach out to me, and I just went through Seismic because they already handle my other stuff. So I don't know who would have been kicked.
Seismic's a third party, so they might have gone through Philly D to BetterHelp, and that's why
exactly
they're getting
that wouldn't make sense. Like why they don't work for DeFranco? That's not one of his companies, but
he might have contacted them to get other people.
I mean, maybe.
By the way, here's the affiliate link, and I can follow it. Oh wait, that's the wrong link.
Yeah, can I see this while I go to the kill stream?
Let me copy.
Yeah,
you can see it. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
No, that's the Rogue Rocket website. If you paste in your affiliate link,
Ralph, you're always so mean to me, and I understand why you're always so mean to me. Thank you for being so kind, and I really appreciate you.
It has the redirect. Well, I mean, look, there's the Rogue Rocket. I don't know if you can see that. Is that showing on the screen? Hold on.
I don't know what Rogue Rocket is. So you know for a fact, like you can prove that's DeFranco's company?
Yes.
Now, if you see, hold on. Let me.
So if I go to roguerocket.com, there's DeFranco.
Right there,
okay,
right there up top. I got it highlighted now. You should be able to see it on screen. That's Rogue Rocket right there in the URL tab. So.
Yep, I do see it. And so that's if you go for
people can just look at it through the. Here's the. Hold on. Let me copy.
But you get that if you go to BetterHelp.com/boogie.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, you do.
Well, I guess DeFranco's been. I guess I've made DeFranco literally dozens of dollars at this point.
Yeah, there's the link.
Probably.
You guys can check it if you want.
Yep, I see it right there. Holy shit! Affiliate plus UTM.
So you're saying you didn't know anything about this? Like this is just.
No, man.
By the way, here's a tweet that I just got. Somebody checked Shane Dawson's BetterHelp link from his video, and guess what? It has the Rogue Rocket tag right there in the.
DeFranco is playing everybody,
and he claims his whole reasoning for wanting to do this is I just wanted to provide a dashboard for the users that could look at their information and see exactly how much money they're making and the metrics and all that.
We connect some content creators, we set them up, we handle their daily numbers, we make sure they get paid. If they have any questions or need any help, we can be there for them. And then on the other end, BetterHelp, if they have any questions regarding, do you think this person would be good or something along those lines, we can advise. And for all of this, like an ad agency would, we take a percentage of the sponsorship.
There's people that ended up hooked up with BetterHelp without you involved. And guess what? They still had access to all the metrics. They still had access to all their sales. You're not providing anything that anyone else can't provide. You just wanted to skim off the top. Just be honest. This was about making money for you, not providing a service for other YouTubers. You're full of it, dude. You're lying. So let's just recap on all of this. Phil has been taking money from his fans using his Patreon that was supposed to be for a news network And instead of using that money for his news network, he's using that money to fund an ad agency that he's been using to take money from other YouTubers. So he's taking money from his fans in order to take money from YouTubers. You got your hand in everybody's pocket, Phil. So this isn't even just about BetterHelp anymore. Now we're looking into you, Phil. Look, and here's the deal. If Phil was just like honest and open about what he's been doing this whole time, and he's like, look, I'm trying to get here and I want to get paid. I'm trying to do it. If he was just open and honest about what he was doing from day one, instead of being secretive, instead of telling people one thing and doing something else, you could almost look at it like, damn, look at Phil Hustle. That's a guy who knows how to get paid. But instead, because he's been so manipulative, because he's been so dishonest this entire time, and then even after being confronted about it, has this smug, I'm smarter than you attitude, I can't take one look at who he actually is versus who he portrays himself to be and not want to slap him in the face. This guy is a manipulator. He is a liar. And in my opinion, when it comes to this whole Patreon thing, how he's pulling the whole bait and switch on what it's actually for. Now you couple that in with what he's doing with BetterHelp, scammer, fraud, snake. Anyway, there's more stuff coming out about this BetterHelp every day. Keep your eyes open, pay attention to what's happening, because I promise you this story is not over yet. Phil still has to do his investigative documentary, which I can't wait to see. I mean, I don't know what he thinks he's going to find at their offices, what, a beanbag chair and a TV that counts the number of hugs. All the interactions, everything that needs to be looked at is happening online. I don't know why he feels like he needs to go stand in an office with the owner and ask the guy who's being accused, along with himself being accused of running this whole scam. What does he think? Who's he proving anything to? His own audience, I guess? The people that already kissed Phil's ass? But anyone from the outside is definitely going to see the conflict of interest for Phil to be running around like, oh, if there's a scam, I'm going to expose it. Motherfucker, you're part of the scam. So I don't think anybody's interested in your take on this at this point. We've proven that you can't be trusted. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Stay tuned. There's more stuff on the way. All kind of new other videos I want to be making, but it seems like every time I try to do one of my fun videos, something important comes up, and I always put the important stuff before the fun stuff, and I appreciate y'all watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, helps us survive on YouTube. Get ready. Anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. Have a good one. Peace. Hey, this is Drumr828. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps the video survive on YouTube. Also, subscribe to keep up with the channel, and turn on the notification bell to instantly find out about new videos. I make music, motovlogs, comedy, live streams, and anything else I feel like doing. I want to give a special thank you to Reamce, Breakdanceexpress, EarJuice, and Brad Scott. Thank you so much. Their support keeps this channel going.